Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in this beautiful world. This is Hejin Lee with a morning update for Bitcoin. I'm putting this out a little earlier than usual. I am traveling again. I will be going out to San Diego until Wednesday night. I will try and do as many updates and analysis requests and comments as possible. And if I'm a little bit delayed, that's why. I'll be out at a whole bunch of meetings in San Diego, much warmer than here in the East Coast. So anyways, let's look at this. Damn, not bad on the bounce. Look at this. So it turned out that he wanted to go near the 5,700, 5,600. Fine. Remember, it's not the precision hit that matters. It's the direction. See, I was expecting 4 and 5 to end, and I'm counting my subwaves, and subwaves of that subwave, wave 5 decided to extend, in this case, which is fine, went as low as 55, 57 on a spike, but look at this turn. I mean, this is impulsive already. This is beautiful. People, this is where the power of technical analysis truly shines. And being able to expect a turn is near, not by gut feeling, not by shooting from the hips, thinking that it's going to happen, or it's about time it should turn. No, it's not based on feelings. Although gut instincts do have a function, but it was really about counting the waves. And I'm thinking if it was 3, 4, fifth is the last one, and this white line I drew from here to here for wave 1, because if wave 3 is extended, is the longest, then wave 5 is going to be about the same length as wave 1, and that is what this vertical white line represents, the height of the price for wave 1. And I took it and lined it to the top of wave 4 and projected 6,013 as a potential bottom. It did a final washout. It washed out the weekends down to 55, 54, and then it turned. And it turned about face. It didn't turn slowly. It turned immediately. It had enough of selling. That's what Bitcoin is saying. And it washed out all the final weekends that were holding back the turn. Every time it tried to turn, the weekends came and sold out of panic, out of worry, out of concern. There's a lot of rumor out there saying Bitcoin Cash is going to take over. There's a collusion going on amongst the, I don't know, elites or whoever they are in China. I don't trade by that. Some are very good at trading by that. That's called getting the information. I don't have enough connections to get the information. But for me, swimming in that pool muddies the waters for the technical analysis. Jacuzzi. And I just want to stay in my jacuzzi, that's all. I don't want to... I've said this before, I actively avoid other people's analysis. And that is not out of arrogance. I'm not an arrogant person. But that is because I'm a human being and I don't want my mindset to be influenced by someone else's analysis. And you might want to consider the same thing. Once you become proficient, I just stopped listening to and stopped following anyone else because I realized I need to do this on my own. and become self-proficient and sufficient. So, check this out. Can get rid of this. Can get rid of this. Can get rid of that. Beautiful waves. Woohoo. Let's do some high resolution microscopy. Oh my God, I see an impulse. This is sweet. Sorry, I had to redo some things. Take a snapshot for the summary. Let's go back and remove these. And do a high resolution chart microscopy. So, I spot 5 waves. And it's beautiful. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the first and best confirmation of a trend reversal? That's right. 5 waves up. Got an ABC here. Cool. Now here's what's critical. This has to continue making higher highs. That is the subsequent best confirmation to have. This has 1, 2, 3, 4. It has to make higher high. 5. Okay. And overall, this whole thing will be wave 1, 2, and we need to see this wave go 3, 4, 5. That's the ideal pathway. Make these blue as the subwaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, if I remove this, you can say, yes, but Hedging, this still looks 3 wave-ish. Correct. That's why we need to finish the higher degree wave 5. Get back to maybe 7,200 or so. And therefore, this could be A, B, C, A, B, C, and we can. That is the alternate count now. So the further bearish alternate count will be A, B, C. Okay? And from here we can see maybe even further weakness. But that is my alternate count. That this is just corrective. 5, 3, 5. 5 waves, 3, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more marginal higher then. This. And then we'll see 5 wave impulse down to much lower lows. Now let's do some chart pattern analysis. Do you see a pattern? Let's do a forward discernment. I see a pattern. If I do a horizontal line right here, this is the left shoulder, I can say. This is where the chart pattern recognition combined with Elliott waves becomes a powerful algorithm. So left shoulder, head, and we can do a forward discernment because it hasn't happened yet of maybe right shoulder. Okay. And if this head and shoulders bottom, for those of you who don't know what a head and shoulders bottom is, not a shampoo for dandruffs. I call it bullish. You have a left shoulder, right head, and a right shoulder. And let's look at the volume. Poho, and the volume confirms for now. Look at the volume. See how the volume. See how the volume of the left shoulder, and now the volume of the head. And I'm going to forward project the volume of the right shoulder is going to be lower. It has a reflective imprint in the pattern. Left, head, right. And this is giving me even more confidence that a turn is in progress, a reversal. The resumption of the original uptrend is highly probable, given how the volume is now even confirming. Now, this can go to crap, of course, and we can have that bearish scenario that we saw. But you cannot be afraid of that, because if it does, it does. Then all you need to simply do is readjust your accounts. Now, if I forward discern even further out, I'll draw a horizontal line up here. And price can go like that. Then I have a much more expansive neckline and a head and shoulders. This is what I call a smaller head and shoulders within a larger head and shoulders. You'll see this quite often. You'll actually be able to identify this type more often than not. And this would be giving me even more confidence. Once it breaks out of this, once this smaller head and shoulders completes by finishing the right shoulder and confirms by breaking out of the neckline, the next level of resistance is really here. Because these patterns form because of resistance and support levels. So clearly it bounced, reversed down here, and now it's hit a resistance region right here. So it's going to bounce around, finish the right shoulder, and go up, and here's another resistance line, which is what the neckline really represents. It's going across the bottoms of the prices. And it's going to bounce around, complete the right shoulder, and then confirm by breaking out of it, reaching the neckline here. So I've now cleaned up this, going on a counterpoint on the secondary count, where we can say ABC and we're going to see further lows. from a pattern perspective, chart pattern, I'm going to draw a line right here and draw a line across the tops. Okay. So we could be seeing a diagonal, a bearish diagonal, A, B, C, D, E. So it'll make one more marginal high. Okay, and then from there, we can potentially see this. Now, when I'm giving this, it's not saying I don't know what's going to happen. It might go up or it might go down. No, that's not what I'm saying. My primary count is that it's going to go up, as I've shown earlier with head and shoulders, etc., what have you. But this is where the difference between the informed and the uninformed can be separated. As a technical analysis, you want to ask as many what-if scenario questions as possible. That is part of the process of identifying as many possibilities and then narrowing down the handful of probabilities and then identifying your primary and secondary counts, sometimes tertiary counts. And by doing that, when you have that, you are able to peek around the corner. If you've narrowed down to your highest likely probabilities, and this, let's say you see this pattern and goes higher, initially you might be thinking, okay, we may be going bullish, but it's breaking down, and instead of asking, oh, what just happened, what's going on? Let me go find a guru who might know what's going on. A good Elliotician knows and is prepared for the signals that'll indicate this direction. So one will not be surprised. However, I want to end the video with this very bullish head and shoulders image. Let's see if this gets complete. And it'll be a very good sign. And here is Bitcoin Cash. Yes, I was thinking maybe 1640 or so, but Jiminy Willikers, look at this thin line spike to 2806. It is very difficult to catch this. Very difficult. You have to be very nimble. And the exchange has to be very fluid and not clogged. A lot of people have their Bitcoin stuck somewhere in the exchanges. Maybe their orders as well. So we went to, let's say, 2153 is where you, in the range of 2153 to 1415 is where really you could have traded well and profited. This is a momentary spike. Even on a 1 hour scale. This isn't easy to catch. But remember when I said there's a correction coming. But not only that, I also said a reversal is coming. And with the reversal, I very clearly stated that there will be a reversal in the opposite direction for Bitcoin Cash. And sure enough, here it is. Okay, and what I see here from a forward discerning point, if I draw a neckline like so, I mean, this is called the Eiffel Tower. So we can get a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right? So let's now scrunch this down. It really looks like the Eiffel Tower. For those of you in France, I say, I have never been to Paris. I've traveled to Europe, mostly to like Germany, Italy, quite a bit to Asia for business. I used to do almost once every couple months trip to Asia. But I haven't been to France yet. I'm sorry, I have been to France, just not Paris. I have been to France, but not just Paris. I've connected through it, but I haven't been to the Eiffel Tower. I will when I get the time. So I want to do the minimum price measurements. I measure from the top of the head to the neck line if this completes. But before that, let's look at volume. Oh shoot, what happened? Where is volume? I can't find the volume. It disappeared on me. Well, anyways. Assuming that volume also confirms, this minimum price target could go goes negative. Yeah. So what this means, it doesn't mean it'll go negative. It means a very sizable correction is coming. Very sizable correction is coming, I think. And I said not after a correction will my 4,000 plus target be realized. But I think Bitcoin Cash has a very sizable correction coming if the turn in Bitcoin is correct. Because it is currently non-phasic, inverse to Bitcoin right now. Okay, now let's do this again and take it to the body of the candle on a realistic. And it might do the same thing, I don't know. We'll be down to 221. So if you haven't taken your profits, you might want to consider that. I'm going to put a big question mark there for now. Because the head and shoulders has to complete. It's not complete yet. This is all forward discernment. This is all forward discernment from a pattern perspective. But it's pretty uncanny how Bitcoin Cash is doing head and shoulders bearish top, while Bitcoin is doing a head and shoulders bullish bottom. Very interesting. Well, you got a twofer on this analysis with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Do I personally think Bitcoin Cash will overtake Bitcoin? No. I don't think so. Whatever collusion might be going on, I couldn't care less. The network effect of Bitcoin cannot be surmounted, in my opinion. Have a good day.